So our topic today is four things required to schedule 4 to 5 meetings, per month. How do we do that? How do we schedule 4 to 5 consistent meetings every single month, if not more? And consistency is the key. So there are four things that I want you to think through, or we're going to cover today, that impacts your ability to do that. Number one is verticalization, target vertical. Number two is a MRR-based solution within that target vertical. MRR solution, significant point. And then a sales go-to-market strategy and a sales training within that vertical that makes it easy for you to deploy your sales resources into it. And then a clear defined onboarding and client retention target within that vertical as well, so that you can onboard clients and sustain and keep those clients within that vertical. So those are the four things we're going to cover today. So let's start with the target vertical first. Now, for some of you that may not know this, the average MSP today between $2 million and $8 million in revenue brings in about 7 to 10 new deals a year. Which is kind of a small number, but it is what it is. So that works out to about 40 meetings a year if you work the 50-50 rule, 50 meetings a year, 20 proposals, and 10 deals. I think that comes down to about 3 meetings a month. That's not enough, and that's not even consistent. So there's a couple of months in there we didn't close anything. If you go off the average 7 to 10, there may be multiple months that you didn't close anything. And that's because you couldn't sustain the meetings. And that's a big challenge. So for those of you who don't like the word, verticalization, not comfortable with it, and I understand I've heard all the arguments around this. So I would suggest to you that if you have to go horizontal because in your marketplace is a small number of businesses, then I would say do a hybrid version of that and go after your market, sort it by vertical and attack it by vertical that way. So if you've got to be in 7 verticals to have a decent size MQL list, then sort it by vertical and then market to it specifically in that way. That's another way to go. Now the vertical I'm talking about today has 5 million small businesses in it today. Half of the MSP community is already in the vertical. It's the number one. It was the number one vertical, I think, in 2018 for all MSPs, and it represents 26% of the U.S. economy right now. So it's huge. And here's my piece I really love is for every 100 contacts or every 100 MQLs in this vertical, you can schedule an average of 10 to 12 meetings. So that's how you maintain your number of meetings per month or increase it. It just depends on where you are in the country and how many of those businesses are close to you. And it was specific in this vertical, and the solution itself is something you can market to nationwide. They don't have to be in your backyard. If you want to market to them, that's another way to go. But let's talk about the number of meetings in a second, because included in this training today is the Rule of 78 calculator, and we put in a BDR revenue projection calculator also for you to look at. So if you're looking for some way to project revenue, this is a nice tool we've developed. So let's talk about that for a second. So the MRR part. So this particular solution gives you the ability to move your average monthly MRR or average user MRR from 75 to 120, 140 up to 175 to $210 per user. So in the other example, you were at maybe a 60% margin, which is fantastic, which is what you should be at. How about 70 to 80% margin? And it's already, for the partner we work with this particular solution, already has 80,000 users using it every single month. And this particular solution provides what we call, or what they would call, and I agree with them, it provides the clients with a solution to their problems, not just treating the symptoms. And that's a big distinction, and one of the pieces I like it. And it's a solution that the vertical has to do by law. So they don't have a choice, which is why I love it even more. But let me give you a real world example around the MRR piece. So if you have a $3,500 a month managed service engagement for about a 25 seat company, that gets you somewhere around $130, $140 per user. Now, using the Rule of 78, that roughly gives you about $273 or $75 a year if you can maintain that number every single month. Now that means you've got to do 12 deals, right? So that's a challenge in and of itself. But let's just say you figure out how to do that. But if you can get a lift by using this solution up to 175, using rule of 78 again, you go from $3,500 a month to $4,400 a month, and now you're somewhere around 273 was originally $341,000 or so in MRR. That's a pretty significant lift just using this particular solution. So I want you to think through that. Now, if you can get 2 sales reps doing that every month, each one of them bringing in a new deal at that rate, then you're talking about, getting yourself around 500-600K or 700 or 800K in MRR from 2 reps signing 1 deal a month. That's huge. Now you got a way to project it based around this key core solution that you probably haven't been able to do in the past. So keep that in the back of your mind. Now we're talking about sales training, go to market. So what's great about this also is this is a product that we can start marketing on Monday and set meetings by Thursday, Friday, if not the following Monday. Sales cycles about 3 to 4 weeks. The solution itself is entirely HOSable, which I love. So for those who know what HOS is, it's hardware as a service. So that gives you even a bigger lift than what we talked about before. And the organization that we partnered with to do this will provide sales support for you directly on your very first meeting. In fact, the very first meeting you schedule, they have to sit on it with you. And they'll close the deal for you. Then you have to obviously bundle the back end for the MRR on the managed services piece. That's on you. But they'll take care of the rest of it. And then what's even better, on the retention side, and item number 4 is they will onboard the client in a 30-day window. Their client retention stats have been well above 96% to date, and the client satisfaction rating from their clients have been anywhere from 4.7 and above on an average, at the top being 5. So they've done a great job of taking care of those 80,000 clients that they have every single month, which they do the same for you. So you're wondering probably right now, what vertical am I talking about? I'm not going to tell you what the vertical is today. I want you to set a meeting with us. There's an appointment link in this email, and sit on a call with me. I will tell you who the vertical is and the partner that we work with to help you do this, and you can go call them and do it yourself. But I want you to take a call with us. If you need the help, we love to help you because we're already doing it with about 7 of our clients right now. And we're loving it and we're looking for more and driving it itself more directly. But if you just want to do it, just contact us. We'll be happy to tell you, and you can move on from there. And we wish you the absolute best. But for those of you who question verticalization and think that, well, I don't know why I don't want to verticalize, I can't even say that word, verticalize today because of all the reasons you've told me in the past, I want you to think about something. What you're doing right now is the epitome of the definition of verticalization. The fact that you're watching this webinar, this video, this training session right now, this message was targeted specifically for you. And why you opened the email and watched this video is because of verticalization. So this message doesn't work for lots of other verticals that we're talking about today. They wouldn't be able to relate to half of the things we're talking about today. So imagine that within your works and your marketing campaigns. How solid are your messages to where the C-level contact within a specific vertical gets the message that you're sending and wants to open it and wants to listen to what you have to say and take a meeting with you? If you're doing that, then your meetings will be consistent and your meetings will mean something, and obviously they'll get some value out of it and want to take a call with you. So this is the reason why verticalization works. It's because you're sitting on this call. So verticalize, 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 verticalize. Thank you again, Gary Beecham, SPC International.